All right, let's do one more where we're told the slope of the line, and we're told a point that we want it to pass through. Let's say negative 12, 10. I'm going to do this one using both methods like I did before. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, we would distribute the 2/3 on the right. 2/3 x plus 8, and then add 10 to both sides. If I want to start and end with slope-intercept form, we could say y equals m x plus b, plugging in negative 12 for x, 10 for y, and 2/3 for b. 2 steps to get to the b. First one is multiply 2/3 times negative 12, and then we're going to add 8 to both sides. Okay, putting the two pieces together, meaning the m that we started with and the b we just found, we should get y equals 2/3 x plus 18 either way. Now, your author in some of the problems says leave your answer in standard form instead of slope-intercept form. A standard form is where our x terms and y terms are on the same side of the equal sign, and there are no fractions involved. So we don't want 2/3 x and 5/3 y and 1/2 for c. So I'm going, and preferably we like the x term to stay positive, so that's why I'm going to take the path that I take. Okay, up here I'm going to subtract 18 from both sides. Okay, and then I'm going to subtract the y. Okay. And if I want to clear fractions, we've had practice with that along the way. I can multiply both sides by the denominator, which is 3 in this case. So I get a negative 54 on the left. I get 2x minus 3y on the right. Okay. Now, if you don't like the x and y on the right, you could shift it to the other side. Okay, but standard form would look like 2x minus 3y equals negative 54. When we're writing our equations of lines, we said we have to have a slope and we have to have a point that our line passes through. And that gives us enough information to write our equation. Okay, but maybe what we're told is our line goes through the point negative 2, 3, and it goes through the point 1, 12. So they gave us a point. In fact, they gave us 2, but they didn't tell us the slope. Okay. The good news is that we know how to find the slope of a line. I can find the rise over the run and find the slope of the line myself. Once I know the slope, I pick either point that I like best. It doesn't matter whether I like negative 2, 3, and you like 1, 12, we can both get to the same equation. We will both get to the same equation if we do our work the right way. So I'm going to just use the y equals mx plus b path, okay, saying y equals 3 from here. M is the 3 from here. X is negative 2, and b is equal to b. If I solve for b, I find out b equals 9. And so I can put the pieces together and say y equals mx plus b. Y equals 3x plus 9. If I know 2 points on the line, I have to find the slope myself. But once I know the slope, I can use one of the points and then go from there. Another option, I might be told a point that I want to pass through. No one will ever leave out the point. So 4, -6. Okay, but maybe it gives me a relationship to another line, parallel to the line y equals 3/2 x plus 1. Okay. So here is my point that I'm going to pass through, but nobody told me the slope. I do, however, know the relationship of the slopes of parallel lines. If two lines are parallel to each other, then they have the same slope, which means all I care about from this equation is I care about its slope. Okay. The slope of the line y equals 3/2 x plus 1 is 3/2. And if I want to be parallel to that line, then I need to use 3/2 as well. So then I can say y equals mx plus b. And when I solve for b, I get b is -12. So I know the equation of that line would be y equals 3/2 x minus 12. Now, like I always say, the only way to make a problem harder is to create a problem that has more steps to it. So maybe I want to go through the point 3, 4, and I want to be perpendicular to the line. X minus 2y equals 5. Again, here's the point that I was given that I want to pass through. But I need to figure out what slope I'm supposed to use. Okay. If I need to know what slope I'm supposed to use, I have a relationship to this line, which means I need to find the slope of this line. Okay, to get the equation in the slope-intercept form, I'm going to subtract the x from both sides, divide everything by -2, and find out the equation of this line right here is y equals 1/2 x minus 5/2. Okay. Now the slope of this line is positive 1/2, and I want to be perpendicular to that line. Perpendicular lines have slopes that are opposites and reciprocals, meaning I'm going to flip 1/2 upside down, and I'm going to change its sign. The slope I need to use in my equation is going to be -2. So I will say y equals mx plus b, multiply, add 6 to both sides. The equation that I'm supposed to come up with is y equals -2x plus 10. Okay. Nobody will ever leave out the point that you're supposed to be passing through. But maybe instead of being told the slope, back another page, okay, from the start, the slope is 2/3. Maybe you're given 2 points, and you get to find the slope yourself. Maybe you're given a relationship to another line. Parallel lines have the same slope. Perpendicular lines have slopes that are opposites and reciprocals. Okay, notice all I care about with this line here, all I need to know is its slope. Once I know its slope, I manipulate it however I need to, depending on the relationship, to get the slope I'm supposed to use. Okay. Get a hold of me if you have questions.